The Cambridge
105 Radio.
I'm Linda Ness from Cambridge 105 Radio, and we've spent the day here at Cambridge Folk Festival. We've had some great interviews today, and we're going to share some of them with you. At 10 a.m. this morning, Ben and Dom started the first rehearsal of the festival choir. A bunch of festival goers who elect to get together and learn a few tunes. Alex Elbro and I spoke to them.
You're running the festival choir all weekend, aren't you? With a performance on Sunday night in stage 3 for anyone that wants to join in. Now, I had the pleasure of going to the first one. It's the first time I've been this early to the festival, I might say, starting at 10 o'clock. But it was wonderful, and there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, we were pleasantly surprised because we had no idea how many people would turn up. It could well have just been me and Dom in a tent on our own. But thankfully, we had, I don't know, about 100 people or something like that. So we kind of
at least,
maybe
maybe
more. But we filled the tent, and it was great. It was exactly what
and
we wanted.
And you pulled them together absolutely brilliantly. We've got a bit of a clip, and it's how they started for a few seconds, and then another clip of how that song ended up after you'd been working with them for 20 minutes, something like that. Let's have a listen.
Clouds are upon the summer sky. There's thunder on the wind. Pull on, and homeward go. Look if one look behind. Row on another day. May shine with brighter light. Like the oar and hold away. There's dawn beyond the night.
It was 20 minutes. I mean, that's incredible. If you've got a struggling choir out there, Ben and Dom can do that in 20 minutes.
Honestly, I had the best time this morning. I mean, I love singing, and you can't help but feel joy when you're doing singing. But I know a lot of people are frightened by singing. So the person sitting next to me, for instance, Linda,
I can't sing.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that of anyone. Anyway, it was lovely that you did some good vocal warm-ups for everyone because it was early in the morning, wasn't it? And is that how you start all your sessions?
Yeah, well, actually, both of us sort of come from the position that anyone can sing. So we like bringing people together in song, regardless of how much experience people have got. And there's something really special about bringing people who don't know each other, don't necessarily, overlap in any other capacity, but being able to come together and make music together is really special. And so, exactly. We tend to start with a warm-up, ease everybody in, and then break down the harmonies sort of bit by bit, really.
And so I was going to say, there's definitely a wider cultural thing. You know, Linda speaking to your sort of I'm not a singer thing. There's definitely a wider cultural thing about those who are sort of entitled to perform and share their voice and music, and then those who are consumerism, who take the music. Or, and actually, I think the thing about our work is that it's trying to sort of get rid of that hierarchy. And everyone can be in the space, everyone can contribute, and that's really where we start from as community choir practitioners, I guess.
They're wonderful, aren't they? Choir masters and musicians, Ben and Dom. The former club tent now provides a showcase platform for rising artists from the UK, Ireland and further afield. Julian Clover spoke to one of the Scottish artists, chloematharu, a harpist from Edinburgh, who'd some very interesting experiences to talk about.
Somewhere along the way, I lost my direction. Lost all enthusiasm. you sweep your soul free from strife. You're the bandage I need for my bleeding heart. The first aid I need will be, I'll always be on your side. Life with you is like catching a free. My heart I gave to you with no hesitation. I fell for you from the moment of your creation. You're heavenly and saint. You don't need words for communication. You lift my soul and raise me up where revelation. When you came along, you saved my life. You sweep your soul free from You're the welcome I need when I come through the door. You pick me up again when I fall onto the floor. And you know, baby, I'll always be on your side. Life with you is like catching a free.
Good afternoon, welcome to Home, live from the Cambridge Folk Festival, backstage once more at Cherry Hinton Hall, and that was chloematharu. Have I said that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, that's good news. Well, thank you very much for coming, and such a beautiful song to start us off with this afternoon. Tell me a little bit more about what we've just heard.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. So that was a song that I wrote for my daughter when she was a year and a half old. She was actually very seriously ill, and what I took away from that experience and what she gifted me from that experience was this wisdom that only children can lend us. So that song is called Catching a Free Ride, and it's all about how her bright and cheerful soul carried me through that very dark time for me. And a lot of my music is about motherhood, and it's also about my time spent in the Merchant Navy as a navigational officer.
I was going to ask about that, because we're kind of used to people getting lost in shipwrecks and stuff in folk music, but you're actually on board the ship and helping find people, perhaps, and know the navigational skills.
Yeah, you'd hope so. At least I know where I am on the chart.
I was going to say, the others is the difficulty. So I'm intrigued. Do you take your harp on board when you go away?
Well, I used to, yeah. Now I'm actually performing music full time, and I'm also a mother full time. So I kind of juggle those two things, as well as an alpaca trekking centre that I've set up with my husband.
Whoa, hang on. Alpaca trekking centre. Where can we find this?
So that's just outside of Glasgow. We live on the Clyde coast, and it's a town called Inverkip. And that's actually where our alpaca trekking centre is, and we also offer goat yoga sessions as well.
So goat yoga?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, I need to know more about this now.
So we've got a collection of pygmy goats, and I lead yoga sessions. And essentially, you start doing the yoga, and the goats climb on you, and they help deepen the stretch. But really, it's just a bit of fun. It's animal therapy. It always puts a smile on people's faces. I guess my aim through music is to challenge any kind of preconception of people in the Merchant Navy. To be honest, when I actually went to nautical college, I was one female in 80 men that year of the intake, and there's not that many female seafarers. So through my music, I often tell stories about my own personal experiences, including my time at sea, sailing around the world on oil tankers, driving the ships. And I really want to lend a voice to the modern day seafarer and share with landlubbers a kind of insight into what life is like on ship.
That's Chloe She's certainly not had a dull life, has she? FeisRois is a leader in the arts, particularly in music education. The organisation gives young people and lifelong learners the opportunity to experience and engage with traditional music and Gaelic culture. Julian met the young contingent who are attending the festival. Let's take a listen.
That was very good. I liked, by the way, a little earlier on, not towards the end, because there seemed to be different parts going on, but you all completely, the bows were moving in synchronicity, which is possibly what is supposed to happen, but it just looked fantastic visually as well. Everyone, introduce yourselves.
I'm Freya Taylor. I'm Amy Harrison. I'm Chloe Wilhall. I'm Kate McLeod.
I'm Ewan Cumming.
And I'm assuming, but first rule of journalism, never assume, you've come down from Scotland, especially for the folk festival, or where have you come from?
We've come from the Highlands, so right up north.
Oh my goodness.
So young and so talented. We're seeing that again and again here at the Cambridge Festival. Amazing. We were then joined by a couple of the members of Before Breakfast who'd just finished playing at the Den. Lucy and recent recruit Molly joined Julian to chat about the music.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the music, because what I can see, the lyrics is not standard issue boy meets girl under the light of the silvery moon.
That's very true, yes. Yeah, I think it's really important to us to talk about things that mean stuff to us as women, especially as, like I say, we're not all 21 years old anymore, sadly. And yeah, it's got to mean something to us, and hopefully that means it resonates with other people as well.
Do you find your following when you're playing gigs in, well, particularly in Sheffield, but also further afield? Do you think that changes the people who come? Does it change the male-female mix at all? Or people just turn up, they enjoy the music, and not everybody listens to the lyrics anyway?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is quite a mixed bag in terms of who comes. And I mean, Molly's helpful in that she's got a load of young friends who've sort of spread the word, and that's like, you know, it's been really great. And because we do have a lot of older audience as well, which is great, because, you know, they like to buy merch, so we're happy with that.
You got the money to buy it.
And it's nice that people of all ages find the music good and enjoyable. So
the age thing is interesting. My wife has been good enough to drop me off here for the last couple of days, and we were like spotting. We have a thing here called Strawberry Fair, which takes place in June, and you'll probably be familiar with it, Molly. It's a bit hippie-ish, shall we say, to say the least. And here there's also another, and both of them have distinct crowds, and you see them walking around Cambridge. You see them when you're coming in towards it here, and here's a bit of a, I don't want to call it an elderly crowd because many of them are my age, but I'm mid-50s, and I guess my worry really for the event is that doesn't seem to be people in their 20s around. There's people who are performing on stage who might be in their 20s, but that's not the same thing.
No, it's not. I mean, I think it's interesting. Like, I'm really keen on, I work with young people, and I'm really keen on sort of asking young people what they want, and sort of seeing how that, you know, how you can do something with that information, like co-producing stuff. And I think maybe, you know, it's the same with folk. It would be good to ask them what they want. I've got a friend called Sam Sweeney. I know he's done a lot of work with young folk musicians, but again, it's like, how do you get not just the performers but other people involved, or maybe get more people for performing who are younger, doing the folk stuff in the pubs. Maybe they'll all pile in as well, even if they're not, you know, on the stage.
Although I thought it was interesting because I noticed on the programme the band, what's they called, the Longest Johns, they're the ones who kind of started that TikTok sea shanty kind of trend.
Great
and
shout.
I thought that was a interesting programming. I feel like that's one point definitely where young people and folk meet.
Some really interesting conversations taking place here in Cambridge 105 Radio today. Michael McGovern is part of the Scottish Showcase Expo that we mentioned earlier, taking place on stage 3. Julian spoke to Michael and started asking him to tell us about his music. We'll then hear a track, The Isle of May.
Well, it's sort of folk-inspired music, I suppose, with a folky root to it. It's songs like, I brought out an album 2 years ago. It was a debut record, and it was a collection of songs that I'd been writing since I was a kid, really. There was a few songs on there that were like old things I came up with as a teenager and then changed. It was very much like a lockdown project. So yeah, so far it's just been that, and I'm working on a new album at the moment. So I've just
was it interesting going back? Were you able to sort of, you know, reliving things like beyond the lyrics themselves, which might have happened at the time and inspired you?
Well, and I changed quite a lot of lyrics to like as throwbacks to things that happened or people that I don't talk to anymore, or you know, that kind of thing. And it was a nice project. It was just March 2020 with nothing to do, and I think I was messing around one night, played an old song and thought that was pretty good. Maybe I should bring back some of these, you know. So it was just basically at that. And at the moment I'm writing more stuff, and it's like songs based on stories, maybe stories from books and things like that. I recently read a book by Laurie Lee. I don't know if anyone's read.
As in Cider with Rosie.
Not Cider with Rosie.
No.
I read that too. But As I
Yeah.
Walked Out on Midsummer Morning.
Okay.
It's a great book, and I ended up writing a song about the story. So I'm doing a bit more of that these days, sort of storytelling.
And what's your method for writing? Does it all come out at once, or is it like
I wish-
slowly?
I don't know. Leonard Cohen said if I knew where the good songs came from, I'd go there more often. But I don't know. I just wait on something happening. You can force it out, of course, and if you really want to write a song, maybe you can do it. It might not sound very good, but they come around now and again. I think you need to keep the parts of your brain well oiled. You know, you need to like keep yourself in tune. I don't know, reading and listening to other music, and just generally.
And what do you do? Do you work to make songs better? You talked a moment or two ago about rewriting some of the lyrics, or do you just sometimes I don't know, even if you spent a while on something, that's not going anywhere. I'm going to spend my time on one which flows so much better.
Perhaps. Yeah, I've got a couple of songs like that at the moment that are kind of annoying me. I've got a few that I just don't like enough, or I've got one that I like the melody of, but I don't like the concept of the lyrics, so I'm stuck with that. So we'll see what happens.
It sounds like you keep a few on the boil, as it were.
I do,
in one go.
Well, you have to. It's hard these days, I suppose, with limited funds and stuff to like be recording the way they did in the 60s and 70s, where the money was getting thrown at artists and they were in the studio all the time. The reality is these days, and everyone here knows that you can't really do that anymore. I can see the flowers on the hill where no one goes, silent in the mountain rocks of old. And here she's been for many years, and many she will stay. Beneath her flying sky, the Isle of May. Birds fly on and on beneath a weary sky of grey. The pilgrims left their mark upon the brae. Though their ancient dreams have long since passed, we remember them today. Beneath her sunken sky, the Isle of May. Sit on the rocks, the waterfront docks, breathing the sound that calls all around you, and know you are alone. Rain in your skin that washes the sin from tumbling cloud, no soul to be found in the song of a sparrow's call. The boat will come at noon and it will take us from the shore, the island left behind forevermore. And on the rocks where time has stopped, we'll sing again someday. Beneath her sunken sky, the Isle of May. Sail from this hired land, sail from this tested command, and there you shall stay, 'neath the Solomon flying sky on the Isle of May. Sail from this hired land, sail from this tested command, and there you shall stay, 'neath the Solomon flying sky on the Isle of May. Sail from this hired land, sail from this tested command, and there 'neath the Solomon flying sky on the Isle of May. 'Neath the Solomon flying sky on the Isle of May.
Please like this video, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you've enjoyed it. We'll be back on YouTube with more highlights tomorrow evening at 6 p.m, and coverage continues on Cambridge 105 Radio at cambridge105.co.uk from 10 o'clock tonight and from 1 p.m. tomorrow. To play us out, here's Aimeeiris, who we spoke to a little earlier.
You know when you have a really big argument and you may have drunk a little bit too much and you wake up the next morning and you know you're still mad but you're not quite sure why? That's what this song's about.
Oh dear, it has a very familiar ring.
That would be to Alex, yeah.
Oh, oi.
So this is all I remember. Wake up alone, can't work out how I got here, bathroom floor is cold. Head spinning, mind unclear, mascara down my face, marks of yesterday. Then it hits me, half a memory, fighting and shouting and slamming doors, broken bottles on the floor. When it hits me, it's just half a memory, so many things are unaccounted for. Beds are made, but I didn't sleep there. Pictures moved, but I couldn't say where. Trying to tell myself that I don't care. That's all I remember. Something thrown, breaking the TV, crying, begging you not to leave me, screaming stuff I didn't mean it. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. Can't reach your phone, your car's missing from the driveway, tired and alone. How did things get so sideways? House keys in the bowl, you're not coming home. Then it hits me, half a memory, fighting and shouting and slamming doors, broken bottles on the floor. When it hits me, it's just half a memory, so many things are unaccounted for. Beds are made, but I didn't sleep there. Pictures moved, but I couldn't say where. Trying to tell myself that I don't care. That's all I remember. Something thrown, breaking the TV, crying, begging you not to leave me, screaming stuff I didn't mean it. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. How this used to be. Picture perfect movie scenes. Now I'm watching all the shows that we used to watch alone. Huddled round the fireplace, shadow of an empty space. Now I cannot light the fire, so I'm sitting in the cold, alone. I made the bed, switched off the TV, all those things back where they should be. Almost looks like you didn't leave me. And then I remember, throw your clothes out on the street you left behind. More than a house key, the only thing I kept is the memories. The ones I remember, something thrown, breaking the TV, crying, begging you not to leave me, screaming stuff I didn't mean it. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. That's all I remember.